All right, now that we've got some lovely favicons, let's check out what's next in our project to do. Okay, well, the next thing is we have some links for adding web fonts. So there are many ways to add fonts to our project. We've already talked about how we'll do some little bit with Font Awesome and glyph icons, but I want to show you one example from Google Fonts. So if we go to to the web and we just go to fonts.google.com, Google actually provides a whole ton of different fonts that we can use very, very simply in our web design. And we can go through and kind of, look for fonts in here that are really useful. We can also play around with this one. Say maybe we like this Noto font. We can see some of the other options. There's a bold option. There's an italic option. And we can kind of see all these different ones. I was looking through here, and there's a couple of them that I kind of wanted to use here. The first of them is called 6 caps. It's kind of an interesting one where it's very squished together and tall, but nice and sort of small caps. I kind of like it. So if we go and click on 6 caps, it will select this for us. If we click down here, Google gives us the code that we need in order to to use this in our websites. It also tells us how fast this will be to load. Some fonts are a little bit bigger in size, have more characters, and they take a little bit longer to load. So here's the way that we're going to add this to our pages. We're going to copy this link here. Remember, we are using the link tab to add this font. So we're going to copy this link, and we're going to go and open up our text editor, and I'm just going to put this right here again in our head section of our document. I'm going to put it right below the favicon here, and also do the same thing in the Captain Eli's page. Make sure that both of those are in there. And then here is how we specify that in CSS. And the place that I want to use this font is I want to go and I want to actually, where it says project name here, I want to go and change that font. And if we go and scroll down to the project names, oh, I'm on the wrong page. If we scroll down to project name, we can see that these are inside of the H3 tag, inside an anchor tag, a hyperlink. So, but we really want to I don't want to change all hyperlinks for now. I just want to change the H3 tag to be that font. So we're going to go and now create our first modified section of our CSS file. We'll go over here, and if you looked up some information about CSS, you'll know that if we want to change an entire element, we just type the name of the element, in this case the H3 tag, and put a open and close curly brace around that. And then inside of here is the CSS rules that we want to apply to that element. Now again, Bootstrap already has a ton of CSS rules that are available that have already been decided for us. Those are all in the CSS bootstrap.css and bootstrapmin.css. So there's a whole bunch of them that have already been selected for us. But I want to go and I want to change the font. And remember, I'm just copied and pasted from Google, and we're going to change that font. All right, so if we save that, make sure we save all of these pages, and then go and refresh. We've now changed the font to be that web font. Now, it's a little small to me, so I'm going to also go back in here and change the font size. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, there's lots of resources on W3 Schools and lots of things on the references that I've provided online to help you understand these CSS rules. The rule that we want to add is font size here, and I'm going to change it to you can use, for font sizes, you can use percentages, you can use pixels. I actually like using ems, and in this case, let's see what a 3em font size would be. We'll save that, refresh it. That's not too bad. Maybe we want to go a little bit bigger. Let's see what 4 looks like. That's not too bad. Let's start with that and see if we can always come back and change it later if we think if it needs to be smaller or bigger. Now we've changed one of the fonts, but I also kind of want to change this heading font. And so let's go and check out another font. So another Google font that I was checking out earlier, which I thought was kind of nice looking, was Cinzel. All right, it's kind of a nice little, very thin, again all caps, but not as squished together. I think it might be a nice counterpoint to the other one. We'll go and check that one out. And if we want to add Cinzel, all right, there's how we add this one. So we're going to add that again to the head section of our 2 pages. And then in our CSS, I'm going to go and figure out, okay, well, how do I need to go to modify this page heading? Let's look at our files. So the page heading is right here. Here's the text, the page heading, and then the secondary text. And that's all in the page header class inside an h1 tag. So we could modify the whole h1 tag, and that's an option. Or we can go and just modify just the class that's page header. And so if we want to modify a class, we put a period and then do page header, and again the open and close curly braces. And I'm just going to paste that, oops, that's not the one, back to Google Fonts and paste this line. And go and see if that makes the change for us. Oh, good. Looks like that makes the nice change here. I think that font will work for now. We can always change it later. It does look a little small again, so maybe let's change that to 4. Whoops. Size 4M again, and let's see if that changes things. There we go. That's pretty good. We might change the colors on that in just a minute, but for now that looks pretty good. All right, so that's adding a couple of web fonts. So we've done that. Let's check out what's next. So the next thing is we're going to have images and the hyperlink. So in this particular format, or this particular template, there are a lot of images. Okay, we've got 9 big images that we want to change here, and in our other page we've got one, very large image and then some smaller images here. So we're going to be using the img tag, the image tag, quite a bit, and so we'll do that in just a minute. On other pages, you might not have as many things. In fact, for some of the templates, for the background, you might not have any img tags. There may just be images in the background. And so you'll have to look in your CSS file and see where it might have the images in there as the background for a particular element.